a straight A student in everything that does not involve physical things. I was a freaking honor student, man, but I'm gonna fail this hard, like big time. It's not good. I'm gonna like fall on my face or something.
This is going to be a guideline for me to show me which muscles are overactive and which ones are underactive, so we can see which ones we need to strengthen and which ones we need to lengthen.
Esbie, my trainer, says that I will be fine and there's no way to study for it, but I don't like that very much because I want to be able to do well.
This is different for every person. It's dependent on their history, dependent on what sort of injuries they may have had in the past. It's dependent on their vocation, if they're sitting all day, standing all day, if they wear high heels all day long. It really depends on a lot of factors.
Fact of the matter is, I'm wildly out of shape. My feet suck, and it's like super hard to do a lot of stuff that I used to be able to do really easily.
The first thing that you want to do is correct any muscle imbalances. It's like building a house. You want to start with a strong foundation.
I fall down a lot just on my own, and I'm afraid I'm going to face plant during the middle of this. So, yeah.
It's a fitness assessment. It's not anything that she can study for, but she's going to do great.
I can do like half a push-up. Forget about pull-ups.
She's one of those people who can do anything they put their mind to. I have no doubt in my mind that she is going to meet her goal. No doubt in my mind.
And here we are.
Are you nervous?
Yes. I have never failed a test before. This is new.
It's not one you can study for.
Okay.
Right, so what we're looking for here is caving in of arches. Am I
Oh
correct?
yeah, I can feel it happening right now. There go my knees. Yeah.
So Julie has to be careful about making sure that her arches are lifted up when she's exercising barefoot. And with her shoes, you have an extra special insert for your shoes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's important to do when we're working with shoes, running especially, doing anything with impact. It's good.
So like this, not like this, which is a big one.
Right, so the issue with the caving in of the feet is that the knees tend to bend inwards. So that poses its own set of problems. But we will try to strengthen the muscles that need to be strengthened and lengthen the ones that need to be lengthened and try to help that.
I totally apologize for my blindingly white legs.
It's okay. I'll hold to Bianca as well. All right, so let's do the second assessment. So here, this is a dynamic pose. It's called an overhead squat assessment. And so what you do is you stand with your feet hip width apart. So knees are over your heels, hips are over knees, yeah? Lift your hands up and then sink your tush down like you're sitting in a chair. If you're going like this, then that we have to work some muscles, and if you're going like this, then that's another issue. And also what we're looking for here, which we might find because of the fallen arches, is this. So that's just what I'll be looking for here. And let's see how Julia does.
So,
All right,
go up,
arms up,
and then I sit in the chair.
and sit in the chair. So we're looking that this angle matches this one. And you're actually like a little low, so that's that's surprising, but that's something we'll just work with. That's cool. Okay, let me look from the front and make sure that your knees are parallel, and they're doing really well, actually. A little bit of caving, a little bit of caving, but it's all right. And do you want to come on the floor for a second, just to make sure, because I see a little bit of bending to one side, and I'm wondering what's that about. Now tell me, you're dealing with injuries. You have.
Yes, I was in a car accident, so I have a permanent injury on the left side of my neck, and I also have chronic pain in the neck, mostly in the back,
introduced to that, so, which leads into the migraines.
Right.
A
Yes.
wonderful package
Migraines.
of
We love
happiness.
migraines.
So if I aggravate my neck,
We get debilitating migraines that
Yes.
can last for 12
Like-
to 16 hours.
yeah, then my day is shot. There's
Her work
no more
days.
productivity is happening.
Yeah, so we want to avoid that as much as possible, and so putting any extra strain on the traps or the scalings is going to be something we need to worry about. Yeah, so we don't want to aggravate, and also excess exposure to the sun or overheating.
Can't overheat, I
That
can't
also
get dehydrated.
triggers Dehydration. So we'll need to be careful about all these things, especially when we're working outside, and summer is almost upon us. So
Yes.
just things to be working on. Okay, so the next one is going to test her balance, and this is called a one-legged squat. I'm going to demonstrate here. So for the one-legged squat, you just lift, you ground one foot, and you lift up the second just like an inch or two to the side, and keep your ankles together as much as you can. And then what you do is you put your hands on your hips, and then you stick your tush out like you're sitting in a chair. You can see what I'm looking for here is wobbling like this, and also if she has to tap like quite a few times, that tells me something as well. That might happen, and if it does, you know, that's going to improve. So let's try that on both sides and see how she does.
So,
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I got this.
So just lift, yep, just like that, and now sit like you're sitting in a chair. Yeah. Okay, come on up.
My ankle
Switch
doesn't
feet.
like that.
Your ankle doesn't like that.
No.
Your left ankle.
The one that I
That's the
sprained.
one that you see. Okay.
No, this one's not very good either. Alright, so.
Okay. Ready? She goes, looking for wobbliness or going from one to the other, and that looks pretty good. And your balance is not too shabby, so very impressive. And what you do is you put your hands about 3 feet apart. Maybe like this. This might be a little bit much. And then we come up into a plank, kind of this weird formation here. And what we want to do is we're going to time her for 15 seconds and see how many times she can get one hand to the other in 15 seconds. And we're going to do this 3 times and see how she does. All right? Let me get my watch. And
So much pressure. Alright.
okay.
So how far like this?
And
Okay.
go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's exactly 1 per second. How do you feel?
Chris don't like it very much,
Chris
but
don't like
yeah, I mean, it's not too bad.
You want to do two times instead of from one side of this to the other,
Okay, just hopping over it.
hopping over it, and we're going to see, we're going to do it for 10 seconds and see how many times she can do it in 10 seconds.
Okay,
So
how would
let's
I-
do it on your right foot because your left is the
So I'm hopping on one foot?
right, from side to side.
Okay, how far do I hop?
You just have to clear the line.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be any more than here to here. Yeah.
Can I do this?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me when to go.
Okay. When you're ready.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice. How was that? That's difficult.
I don't have very good. My other
No,
foot is
but
gonna
that's-
like it less.
That's
so.
difficult. We're gonna stay off the left foot because she had a sprain a few months ago. Yeah, so she's still recovering from that injury. So we're gonna just stay with 6, and so you did really good on your test.
I'm overachieving.
And Kathy. All right.
Julia did great today. Beautiful work. Now let's review the tests that she did and see what we can learn from them. The first test, the standing postural assessment, she did beautifully. No hunching, no lifting of the shoulders. I expected to see the shoulders really overactive because of how she has to lift her arms up all day with her sculpture. But she does a really great job of making sure that her workstation is raised to the right height so she doesn't have to stress out her traps or her sternocleidomastoid. What we did see, but what we kind of already knew, we just need to think about lifting her arches when she's doing yoga or Pilates, and when she's doing high impact exercises, that she's wearing sneakers with inserts for extra arch support. Now, because of the caving in of the feet, the knees will have a tendency to move inward, which could possibly be stressing out the adductor complex, the biceps femoris, her TFL band, and the vastus lateralis. So during the first month of working together, we'll make sure to pay attention to these. Now, because these muscles are overactive, they could be taking over and causing some other muscle groups to be underactive. So we'll need to look at strengthening the gluteus medius and maximus and her vastus medialis oblique, or her VMO, the teardrop muscle at the inner part of her quad. So wall squats and step ups and step downs are definitely in her future. Now for the second test, the overhead squat assessment, we saw a slight forward lean. This just means that we have to look at strengthening the erector spinae muscles and again the glutes. So we'll use a lot of Pilates techniques to really strengthen that core. Now from the third test, the one-legged squat test, I was looking for her knees to move side to side, but she was really careful here. She has really great strength in her legs. She actually did better than I did in the demo. Now, test 4, the Davies test, that was to test her upper extremity agility and stabilization. What I saw here was a natural tendency to push up the glutes, which is an indicator to me that we really need to work on core strength and engagement. What I also noticed was that in this one, it hurt her wrist, even after just the 15 seconds. So although planks would normally be on the menu here to help core engagement, we need to choose other exercises that won't stress out her wrists. She also mentioned that her neck is injured on one side, and stressing out those muscles can easily lead to debilitating migraines. So we'll have to be very careful and choose exercises that won't cause her to have to crunch her neck and that her head is supported if she's on her back. This test also gave us a baseline for her upper body agility. She got 15 in 15 seconds, which is great. We will revisit this one and see if it even improves over the course of 6 months. Now for the last test, the modified shark skill test, what we saw was balance and lower extremity agility is a bit of an issue. This was a difficult test, but I'm sure that we'll see great strides in this one in particular, as long as we can do it without putting excess strain on that injured left ankle. Julia did beautifully, and now we have a baseline for where we should begin. So join me next time on the Barefoot Trainer to see how we get started with her training. Until we meet again, have fun, keep playing, and do more of what makes you happy.